Hello, today I want to show you how I make the probiotic yogurt. Today I'm going to be making Lactobacillus gasseri. The process is exactly the same whether you're using gasseri, Reuteri or the trio Sibo yogurts. So we've got the one I use is Biothin BNR17. I've had this sent to me from South Korea. You can also get the Merkel brand. I've been using this for a couple of years now very successfully. So we start off by sterilising all our equipment, my bowl, all the bits and pieces, the container in the instant pot, my jars that I'll be using to culture the yogurt in. All of those have been through a cycle in the dishwasher earlier to make sure that they're very clean for this. So what we need to do first is get our milk and inulin heated. Okay, I use the Instant Pot to heat the milk. We need to heat it to at least 80 degrees Celsius. And the Instant Pot will do that. This one, on the yogurt setting, it will heat the milk first to just over 80 before it goes into the yogurt setting. We're not going to be making the yogurt in here though. I have a sous vide set up already for culturing the yogurt, but the Instant Pot is a very good way of preheating the milk because it doesn't scorch the milk for one thing. So we're going to put I'm making 3 litres here because I'm making some for a friend as well. So I'm doing 2 litres for me and 1 litre for a friend. Get our milk in. This is just normal whole milk. This is actually Jersey milk, I think. It's very nice, very rich and creamy, but about 4% fat. And then here I've got 1 litre that I've already measured out of double cream or heavy cream, which is about 35% fat content. So we're looking for a fat content of somewhere between 10 and 18%. My preference is a fat content of around 12 to 14%. That makes a very rich, creamy yogurt. So pour that in, like that. And then I need to add my inulin. It's not in its box, unfortunately. I keep it in a container so that it stays airtight. The inulin I'm using is, I get it from Amazon. It's very easy to obtain. This is a chicory inulin. You can use chicory, agave or artichoke inulin or any other inulin, I guess. But anyway, these are the ones I use. I use the chicory inulin. So for 3 litres, I'm going to need about 5 or 6 tablespoons of inulin. So just sprinkle that in quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 5, that will do. And just give that a quick whisk around so that that dissolves into the dairy. Okay, so now I'm going to pop this into my Instant Pot. I'll just pop the lid on just to close it down. And then I'm going to press the yogurt setting here, lid, and I want to press it until it says boil. So it's now saying boil. And that will beep a few times, flash a few times, and then it will give a beep which shows me that the program is starting, just like that. So that will take about maybe 20 or 30 minutes to heat. We'll come back when that has heated to the correct temperature. Okay, we've heated our milk to 80, just above 80 Celsius, which is about 176 Fahrenheit. And then once it reached that temperature, I needed to cool it down to around about 38 Celsius or 100 Fahrenheit, which is the temperature it's going to culture at. So now we just need to add our probiotic. The inulin is already in there. I'm not going to make a slurry. I find that the capsules, the BNR17, just dissolves into the dairy quite well. Anyway, these are 10 billion CFU. You need a minimum of 2 billion. So in theory, for the amount of dairy I have here, which is 3 litres, 1 capsule should be enough, but I'm going to use 2. So I just break these open and sprinkle it over the top. That one and that one. Give it a quick whisk around so that that gets mixed in there. Let me just show you what I'm doing down here. Okay, so I've just stirred that probiotic into the dairy, given it a stir, and now we need to set it up into our sous vide. So I've got my sous vide. I prefer to use a sous vide because temperature control is very good and I can make quite a lot in one go. I've got a cup in there at the moment because I may have to put a small jar in there, so that's just to make sure it doesn't sink. So I have my jars here. I like these straight-sided jars. These are half-litre jars, and they come with the nice lid like that. I guess they're canning jars, and then you can screw that down. But I'm not going to use this lid for now because they tend to seal very tight, and we don't want that. We need a little bit of we may need a little bit of airflow. So I'm going to use cling film to just loosely put over the jars and just hold it in place with the screw top lid part. So I'll just get some of that ready. Okay, I'll just tip some of them into here so that I can pour it into the jar. And then I'm going to, I'm not going to fill them all the way. Half a litre comes to about where my thumb is. Just going to make them slightly less than that because when it's fermenting, it does expand a bit and it can overflow. So just about that much in each one. I have 4 of these jars, 4 half-litre jars and a 1 litre because I'm making 3 litres. My other 2 jars here. And I have a small jar just in case I can't get it all in. Like that. Like that. This is my 1 litre container. I'm making this for a friend who's quite keen to try the probiotic yogurt, as he's seen what great effect it's had with me. Okay, just put that out of the way. Finish filling this up. They're about the same height. You really want jars that are about the same height to go in your. Balance these out a bit. Some cling film for that one. And then this now needs 36 hours. So it's now coming up to 8 o'clock in the evening. Just gonna pop that on top of that cup and just use the hook just to hold that lid down. Hoping I can Should have tested that. I'm not sure if I can get the actual lid on the top. Okay. Okay, so they're fine. Just straighten that one up. Right, so we've got a litre, 4 half litres and a smaller amount. They're slightly under the half litre, that's why I've got the smaller amount. So I've got my lid, which will go on like that. It's supposed to go that way, but oh, actually, right, no, that small jar's keeping it up. So I'll just put it upside down, so that's fine. Now what I want to do is plug my sous vide in. Plug my sous vide in. This is the sous vide that I have is the Anova. Let me see if I can turn this around so you can see. So we just need to set that to 43 degrees, which is our target temperature for the water. Gasseri needs 43. If I was doing Reuteri, then it would need 38. So we're going to just set that and then press the start button. Oh, that's telling me it's low. I haven't got enough water in there, so I need to just top this up quickly. Some water over here ready for this. Just tip it in somewhere. It's got to, there's a little gap where the motor runs on the Anova, and it's got to cover that gap. Now it's running. So it's got the blue light on, that means it's going. The gap is covered. I'll keep an eye on that. I might try and just get a bit more water in here. I want to be careful of this jar. Right, okay, so that's that. That will now culture for 36 hours. When that's finished running, so we're Wednesday evening now, so that will be ready Friday morning, around about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll come back to you and show you what the final result is. Okay, 36 hours is up. The yoghurt's finished. I've got my batches here. 4 half litres, a litre that I've made for a friend, and this was the small amount that was left over. So I did this in my sous vide setup. If you're using sous vide or any whatever you're using to make the yoghurt, just make sure you give it a thorough clean when you're finished. 36 hours is a long time to be culturing anything at body temperature. So I wash everything in hot water when it's done, hot soapy water, and the sous vide stick gets swished around, just gets swished around in the hot water just to make sure that this all gets clean inside as well as out. You can put it in the water up to there, it would be quite safe. So yeah, I give that a good swish around, let that drain off, and that's ready for next time. This is my, just show you this quickly because I put this in the bottom of the sous vide before I started it. It's called a chainmail. I got it on Amazon. I use it when I'm sous videing meat. It means that I can, it's got a bit of weight to it, and you can put it over the sous vide, the meat in the vacuum sealed plastic, and that will weight it down and stop it floating. But I also do put a little trivet in the bottom so that it's not actually sitting directly on the bottom. You don't want anything sitting directly on the bottom of the sous vide bucket because the water won't circulate, and then you may get an area that doesn't get quite warm enough. So that's just enough to let the water circulate around underneath the jars and to keep the temperature even. Or you could just stand the jars on a little trivet, that will do. So we've got this lovely yoghurt here. I'll put these lids back on, but this is what it looks like. It's really beautiful. It's set up absolutely beautifully. There's no separation in that jar. Oddly enough, on this batch, I rarely get any separation with El Gasseri, but this one has just separated really slightly just around the bottom. I did knock this jar when I took it out of the sous vide bucket this morning, and oh, this is sealed already. I try not to let these seal, but it's fine on the top. You can see where I knocked it, and that may have caused some of the whey to separate. So I don't know. The others, all the others are fine. It's just that one that I knocked did separate very slightly just there in the very bottom. So yeah. So this is our lovely yogurt. I'll be taking that round to my friends soon. And I'll probably finish up this small one first. So I'll just show you what it looks like when it's quite thick on the top, because the cream does, you can just see there where the cream is just sort of floating to the top. Underneath it gets a bit creamy, but this one is very thick. Look at that, it looks amazing. And it tastes amazing. It's so good. I absolutely love the taste of the El Gasseri. Very creamy, beautiful, beautiful yogurt. I love the Reuteri as well, obviously, because that's the one that I feel has had so many benefits for me, for my mental health, my skin, my hair, my general sense of well-being. But the Gasseri is the one that helps me keep my weight down, and my weight has been a problem over the years. I'm type 2 diabetic, and it's always been a struggle for me. So this one does help to keep this all fat down. Yeah, so that's it. That's the yogurt done. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you soon.